That is a stunning piece of wood. I would have never thought in a million years that would have ended up coming out. Don't even see it very well because it's so shiny, the light's reflecting off of it. But I took that bit. So this is the project. I'm calling it my prehistoric bowl, as you can see from the title. The reason being is because it's old, chunky and rough around the edges, just like me. So sticky and horrible. So yeah, yeah, nothing else to say really. It's failed. No good. So I'll see you guys next week. Fresh new project, one that works. And take care. Speak to you soon, and bye for now. Hello and welcome. Thanks everybody for coming and joining us again for another Sunday lunchtime live. Really do appreciate you guys coming over and constantly supporting us. So thank you very much. So it's hello from me and it's hello from.
Hello. I can't believe this week's gone quite quick, really.
It has. That's because you're off work. Right. So
kettle black.
today,
today.
it's about colouring. Going to roughly quickly turn a bowl, and then I haven't done any centrifugal. I think that's the word, centrifugal colouring for a while. So I'm going to have a bash at it. I don't know if you follow, well, obviously you follow Brian at Art Of Woodturning. He's been using these graduate acrylic paints, and I went to the range a few weeks ago and got some, and I want to give them a try. So I thought it'd be decent to try it with this centrifugal bowl turning. So let's go to the lathe, quickly turn the bowl, basic shape. I've only got a piece of gnarly old bit of wood. It's basically about the colour, and it's nothing about the bowl this week. But I want to do a centrifugal, and then if we get time, we'll just dish out the middle of it just so it's a finished piece. So I'll go to the lathe. Nick will talk you all in, but before we do that, just a massive thank you to each and every one of you guys who came over on Friday night to watch Les Fawn. Les was an absolute legend. It's got to be one of the best. It's got to be in the top 5. Actually, I reckon top 3 of the special guest airworms we've done. So massive thank you to Les, and a massive thank you to you guys for coming over and supporting us. And the questions were outstanding. Some of the questions were really, really good questions. So thank you for that. Right, so I'm going to start turning, and Nick will welcome you all in.
Well, hello there. Right, so good afternoon to Wood Wizardry by Colin, Woodturning by Barry. We have Ruby Claire. We have Jeff Crone. We have Lawrence, we have Brian Watkins, Michelle Alsby is in. Hello, Michelle. John Scarborough, Chris Dodds. Also, welcome to Brent Beecroft, Barry Chitty, Mark Pritchard. Also, good afternoon to William Kenny, Colin Izzard. I need to do that, you stupid machine.
Operator.
I'm here. Steve Hale. Did I say Mark Pritchard?
Yes, she did. Twice now.
Barry's Wood Creations. We also have Norman Greenwell.
Safety glasses.
Paul the Greasby Turner. Trevor Reed. Mark the Gentleman Woodturner's in.
Hi, Mark.
David J. Heath, the Guildford Carpenter. Terry Bartlett.
It's a bit out of shape, this. I don't know why, because I sent
Me.
it. You.
Me. Radar, the Woodturner. Dad's in.
Hi, Dad.
Hey, how you feeling, Rick? Bailey Woodworks. TJ Turner and Terry. Hiya, Terry. Eric Winkler. Roy's the boy.
Right.
Joe Senior's on. Hi, Joe. Hope you're well. Wivey Woodshed.
Ooh.
Where's Brian?
Perhaps because I know he said he might have a lesson today
Oh,
for his horsemanship, so.
I'm going to say the Seeing Resources. Gav C, the Woodworks. Wouldn't it be nice is on as well? Grandma Roof Tube is on.
Hi, Groove.
Philip Moss.
I suppose I could really put it on a camera so you can see what I'm doing.
The Wood Dude. Benjamin.
Hi, Ben.
I think. And Brian's here. Brian Hartwood. But it's okay, I'm here.
You're getting worried, Brian.
All right, I think that's everybody. If I've missed you, like I say every week, just put, "Wait, you missed me, woman," and I'll give you a shout out. I think I've got everybody, but I'm not sure. So
Just
welcome
a little.
all to Steve Turner and a rubbish bit of wood.
There's a bit of rub. That's a real bad bit of wood, but it's gonna look. It's gonna look beautiful when I'm finished.
Right, Mark Pritchard's got a question. Can you recommend a good resin for deep casting?
Yeah, just give me a second, and I'll show you what I use. It takes a while to go off. It takes about 4 or 5 days to go off, but let's just bring you back on a camera so you can see. Turn them cameras lights off because if not, that'd be all blurry. Right, so deep pour. This one here. So it's a dipoxy again because I only use the dipoxy now. So it's the deep pour. Up to I think it's 25 mil a time.
Brian
So
said Weber's put paid to the horsemanship lessons today.
So it's you can. I think, don't quote me on this, but I'm sure it's about between 50 and 25 mil a pour. But it does take if you, obviously the deeper you go, the longer it takes. I did one at just over 4 inches deep, and it took about 4 days to go off. But saying that, the normal resin that I use, depending on how deep you're going to go, this was 1 pour, which is
Who wouldn't it be nice? He's got to go.
see like here. So this is 7 inches deep by 4 inches across, and I did this in 1 pour with the normal epoxy I do. So if you're not going massively big but deep, you might get away with just a normal one. All the links to the resin I use are in my description, mate. Like I say, I use 3 different ones. I use, if I'm colouring it, I use a perfect. If I'm colouring it, I use the non-crystal clear one. If I'm not, if it's transparent, then I put I use a crystal clear one. And if I'm doing deep, big stuff, in that one. But like I say, that one was cast with the normal one that I normally use, and that's not cracked or thermaled or anything, so that's been fine.
Brian said he's busy with a video edit, so he won't be in the chat much unless, of course, you drop something.
It's always known. So I drop stuff. I don't drop stuff, do I? Is that round? Oh, not quite.
John Scarborough said, "Do you use a pressure pot, Steve?"
For those I did, John. Yeah, the reason being is because they're hybrids, so they got wood and resin. If I'm just doing this, I'll show you this one I did. I just cast last night. On this one, I just put some red with a bit of pearl in it. This was not in a pressure pot, but what I did do is I sanded and sealed the wood first, so the air couldn't escape through it. And any little air bubbles that came up between me pouring it and it curing, I just popped with a hot air, just like a blowtorch, just to pop the air bubbles in it.
Sorry, Mark had another question. He said, "Would clear cast work?"
Oh, clear cast, is that the stuff I use? That's not the stuff I use, is it? Is that a what is clear cast? Is it the polyester one? Mark who? What Mark was that?
Mark Pritchard.
Is this the one you're on about? This clear cast polyester resin? I used to use the polyester all the time. Just a little tiny bit on there.
Jappy Makes is on.
Hi, Jappy. How you doing, bud?
Pete from Twisted Trees.
Hi, Pete.
What was that, Mark? Let me have a look. Mark said, "I've missed his comment questions." He put a massive thank you to you and Steve for going to all the effort to get these spectacular guests on your channel. Me and Steve does all that.
Who's that from?
Mark, gentleman.
Oh, thank you, Mark. A few cheeky emails, that's what. All right, let's round this. Let's get this nice and
Worst
flat
people
now.
can say is no.
Exactly. You don't get nothing in life you don't ask.
Mark said he's got a new pressure pot this week. First casting tomorrow. Thanks, Steve. Clear cast goes up to 40 millimeters.
Yeah, if that's the polyester one like that, I think they do an epoxy clear cast as well. When I used to do the polyester ones, if I was pouring deep, I would just reduce the catalyst in it. So that still cures. It just takes longer to go off.
Mark said so. It says on the tin. Lol.
So with the polyester, it does recommend between 1% and 2%. But I used to drop it down to 0.5% if I was doing deep casts. It just takes longer to go off, that's all. But if you put too much catalyst in it and it's going off, it'll cause too much heat and thermal crack. So just
Benjamin said he's thought of another guest.
go on in, Ben. Hit us with it.
Dreadnought Workshop.
Have I heard of them? I've got this year nearly full, so Right, so that's nice and smooth. Find our centre. Oh, God, I've got shrapnel in my drink. Move that over there out of the way.
Eric said, I remember enjoying Les, but Steve, I forgot what you did, lol. Joking.
I was only in the background playing around. I could have just quite happily, to be honest, sit in the corner and listen to Les. So I'm going to put a mortise in this because I most probably use this as a practice piece for other colouring techniques.
Mark said there are so many resins.
There are, and some of them can be really expensive as well. Really expensive.
Don't mean they're any better though, does it?
Well, I use the Dipoxy. I've been using it now 18 months, maybe a little bit longer, and I get on well with it. It does what I want it to do. So, I mean, there's a few people who have pen blanks from me and have not had any complaints. So,
Steve Fleming's on.
hi Steve, how you doing? So just clean up with a scraper. That tool rest a little bit. Right, so I've done too much of a curve on this because I want to try and keep as much outline as I can on the surface, the top surface, to be as big as I can. So what I'm going to do is just gently sweep this around. Just put a little bit of a foot in there, actually, I think. Just so it's got something to sit on.
Andy Posh Firewood Green is on as well.
Hi, Andy. So just sweep this around, just take some of this off of here. Just going to do some shear cuts to take this off of here. Tool rest around a little bit. Get a sharp gouge would help.
Pete said, can you turn a bit louder?
Turn a bit louder. Who's a bit
Yeah.
loud?
You need to turn a bit louder because he's cooking his lunch.
Oh, right, sorry. Can't you hear it, Pete?
Colin's got a question. Where can I get pen blank moulds from, and can they be made without a pressure pot?
Yeah, I make all my pen blanks without a pressure pot, Colin. Can't remember where I got my last ones from. Depends what you want. If you want single ones, just let me finish this cut and I'll show you.
Woodturning Barry said Amazon.
Yeah, I'll just show you the ones. I bought some and I made some. Where's the ones I made? I cheated because I bought some cheap chopping boards. Right, so I got two different types of molds. That's off of Amazon or eBay, so you get 4 singles in there. But this is what happens after a period of time. They go funny look. So all I can do now is I can only do 2 at a time because I have to put a pre-formed one in there to hold them together. But I prefer a solid blank like that, and then you cut it to what size you want. That is 150 by 150, I think. Yeah, 150 by 150. So your blank only wants to be about 1 inch thick, so that is nearly 2 inches thick.
You
So
did that with a camera in the middle.
what?
You did that with another camera in the middle, so you can't see it properly.
Oh, sorry, hang on. Sorry.
Sorry, that's because I'm such a lag. I couldn't.
Yeah, sorry. Right, so start again. Right, this one come from Amazon or eBay, but the trouble is with that's gone funny over the period of time of using it. Mind you, I've cast perhaps 100 blanks in it. So what I have to do now is I have to put them in there like that, so I can only get 2 at a time in there. But I personally prefer a large blank like that, 150 or 6 inches by 6 inches. That's nearly 2 inches deep. So if you wanted to, you could fill that to the top and then cut 6 out of it at 20, just under 25 mil, and then split them in half again to give you 12 blanks out of that. But I normally just fill it just over about 25 mil. But what I did is I bought some cheap it's not PTFE, it's can't think of the whatever the material is that resin doesn't stick to. I bought some cheap sheets and I made my own. So these are just basically cut. This has been cut out on the CNC, but you can just cut them by hand and then just screw them together. As long as you don't do these bolts up over tight, once you've cut the threads in them, they will hold. And all I have to do is undo one side and just take the blank out. So I made a couple of those. Basically, that's 106. That's 150 by 150 as well. So I basically made my own. But you can buy the big ones. The big 6 inch by 6 inch is around about 25 quid, I think. So it's not extortionate when you think about how many blanks you can actually get out of it.
Mark said, Steve, are easy wood carbide tools okay? Need to buy some this week. Only use traditional tools now doing resin.
Is that Mark Pritchard again?
Yeah.
I can't talk for Easy Wood, mate, because I've never used them. I've heard all good things about them, but what they're actually like, I do not know, because like I say, I haven't ever used them.
So if anyone on the chat has used easy
I
wood,
think Colin Roberts uses Easy Wood.
I don't think he's on, is he? Oh yeah, Wood River Gone. If anyone can comment on that for Mark, would be good. Mark Gentleman Woodturner says Taylor's Murfield sell solenoid pen blank molds. Grandma Rooftube said, what made you decide to take up wood turning? And how long did it take you to build your man cave to what it is today? Shall I answer some of that while you...
Yeah, you can do if you want.
Okay, so Steve's granddad was a carpenter. Steve's always been very handy, can pretty much turn his hand to anything. And he bought a cheap lathe and wanted to give it a go, basically, didn't you?
Yep.
Had some of his granddad's tools which he used. And he's been doing it for 3 years.
Just over, about 3.5 now.
So he had, we had our garage to start with, and then you put...
I've always had the workshop.
Yeah, but well, no, not this one. That big one you didn't.
I had this as a machine shop. The one I'm in now was a machine shop.
Machine shop. So, because he did a lot of cars and stuff. But to get at how it is today, it's probably been 3 years, 2 years.
Yeah, a year and a half, 2 years.
He'll never be happy. He'll always keep changing it and improving it. But it also was a very good release for him when both his grandparents were put into a home, and he was those like his parents. So and that really kept him on the straight and narrow, basically, when they was ill and when they unfortunately passed away. I just think it helped him, especially as well definitely through lockdown. Being a builder, he couldn't work. People didn't want him in the houses and stuff. So that certainly kept you sane, didn't it?
It did.
That's for sure.
Did. But Woodturn has given me so much. Not just another string to your bow through learning another, well, not I wouldn't say a talent, but learning something new. But the people I've met, the friends I've made, it's given me a lot more than what I could ever give back. Let's put it that way.
Right, Christine and Michael Hesseltine are on.
Hello, Christine and Michael. I hope you're both well.
I think I've got another question. Just a minute.
So we're just going to sand this back to, we're going to leave the bottom natural. So we're going to sand this back to 240.
Todd at Glen Cove Woodworks is on.
Hi, Todd, how you going?
Colin Marks put the link in for the Taylor Murfield ones. Mark's grouting some tiles in for Kim. Grout these tiles in, she said. It'll be fun, she said.
Fun? Grouting? Fun? No, sir. Fun and grouting don't go together. They're not in the same sentence.
Mark said lunch. He's got to go because he's got to have his lunch.
See you later, mate.
On Mark, Colin said he uses the easy woods and they're awesome. They do a set smaller ones that are ideal for pens, well worth the expense.
I would suggest anybody who has carbides to try and use your traditionals as well as carbides. Carbides are great, but you don't get a finish with a carbide like you do a traditional tool.
Grandma Ruth said, thank you. Hobbies certainly are a good distraction from everyday life.
Hang on.
Pete said, Nikki, are you sure it has kept him sane? Thought that was your job.
Same.
Terry's put very therapeutic, Mark Groughton tiles. Oh, Woodturning by Barry said, and I've learned so much from you, Steve.
Oh, thank you, Barry. It's very kind of you.
Right, Eric's got a question. I found you just over a year ago, and all your friends here have become mine, and I have learned so much from it. All those who share lives, thank you all.
Nice to hear. Thank you very much.
It's a nice community.
It is a nice community. It's a good community. I know there are some, like any community, there are some bad apples. But
Not
it's always
mentioning names, Mark Gentleman would turn me. I'm joking.
He's now just filling in the bath crying. But it's like anything. You only get out of it what you put into it. This is why I try and I try and make the channel fun, entertaining. Well, not entertaining, fun, enjoyable. We're here to have a laugh. We're not here to be miserable and grumpy. And we all have lifetime problems. We all have lifetime issues, but they should be left at the back door. And the channel should be about having a bit of fun, which is what I hope it is. Right.
Grandpa Jim would turn us on.
Hi, Grandpa Jim. How are you?
He said, ditto to Eric. Wood Grizzly by Colin wants to know, are Rutland's traditional turning tools any good?
That I don't know, Colin. That I couldn't tell you. I've only ever used Record Power or Robert Sorby.
Anybody else used them can help Colin out?
Right, so let's blow the dust out of that.
Todd said, we've learned a lot from Ben. Things not to do, that is.
Yeah. We've all learned from Ben that he likes walnut. Right, sand and sealer.
Mark put right like that, is it? That's right, you got a big bath to cry in, you'll be fine. I love you really, Mark.
Right, so let's get some splashed everywhere. Get some sand and sealer on here. Like I say, I want to keep the bottom natural.
Dave OT is on.
Right, Dave. Look at that, that's pretty, you know, look at that bit of wood. Not bad for a gnarly bit of wood.
Exactly. Andy from Posh Firewood Green said we do have a great community and everyone can learn from everyone.
Exactly. Nobody's better than anybody else. There's none of this, I'm better, I'm worse. We're all equal. Someone might have a little bit more experience, but it's nice if we can share that experience with each other. All right, a couple of coats of sand and sealer as always. Give it a nice seal before we try and polish it up, without trying to spill it all over my lathe bed.
I'll make sure to remind you of that on the 8th, Mrs.
Right.
Chris Dodds put it's a worldwide community, a big community of nutters. I love it.
Yeah, you don't have to be mad, but it always helps. Right, sand and sealer, Yorkshire grit original. Like I say, I'm going to use this as a test piece, but I'm going to finish it properly, just so you guys. Well, I'm sure you all know about Yorkshire grit by now, but
You didn't click your heels when you said it. Oh, guess what?
Glynn's come on.
Glynn's on. Afternoon, pal. Afternoon, all.
Hi, Glynn. He smelt it, didn't he?
You did click your heels, didn't you? Really?
He heard me
Just
open the
didn't
tin. So I hope everybody managed to, or in the UK that is, managed to get through the storms without too much damage.
We've been quite lucky, haven't we?
Yeah, we had a canopy decided to take a burn, but we got a canopy outside our back door in this plastic framed wall brackets with like polycarbonate over the top of it, and one of the brackets has snapped and decided to. No, it weren't the person who put it up because the fixing's still in the wall, love. So,
You're
we
not
need
going
to
to
get.
get your grief. I can't not.
Oh, of course not.
No, Roy, I am not singing. That's Joe's job, that is.
Wouldn't be the Sunday. It wouldn't be Nikki's show without you giving me grief.
Phil Moss has got to go. He's got to go have his pint.
See you later, Phil. Have a good day. Thanks for coming over. So I'm getting close to my 3,000 subs now. So it's getting close to the giveaway. As soon as I hit that 3,000, I'll be doing a giveaway. Right, so that's the Yorkshire Grit original.
Mark said, we woke this morning to a tile off the roof and side fence collapsed. Oh, no.
I don't know. Oh, that's not too bad. At least it's not, easily repairable. So I'm going to use.
We've got a tile, but we think that was before.
Yeah, I got a slipped tile. Well, it's not slipped. I think it's broken, to be honest.
Joe's singing. Radar said, Steve, you and Nikki should enter my 300 sub giveaway.
Ooh, you got a giveaway, mate.
Wood Wizard Khan said, what size bowl gouge would you guys recommend? The Rutland's ones are cryogenic M2 HSB.
I would go for a 3/8. That'd be your most popular one you use.
Trevor Reed did say with Rutland's, it's worth checking the way they size the gouges. I've seen comments that they go by US size. And
Oh, right. Okay. Well, that'd be different. That'd be the 3/8 one will be in, because I think, if I remember rightly, don't quote me on this, but I think on the American ones, which hammer are we on? On the American ones, they measure the flute size. Where on the UK, I believe we measure the shank size or the size of the shaft. So a 3/8 American one may be a bigger one than, obviously, what that might be like a 1/2 inch for our size. But a 3/8 is ideal because I use my 3/8 most of the time. The only time I really use my 1/2 inch is if I'm like did Friday night when I'm roughing that a big chunky bit of wood. Because it's got a
Grandma
bit more.
Rooftube said, Steve, there are some idiots that follow the storm to Bude to help a friend.
Yeah, Terry. Right, so I'm using Chestnut Products microcrystalline on this for a change. Make sure we work it in well. Put that away because we don't need that no more. Clean bit of tissue. Make sure you fold your tissue up nice and neat because you want that cushion. You don't want to be pushing hard on it.
Eric's got to go. He's got to go to church.
See you later, Eric. Thanks for coming over, mate.
Catch
See
up
you.
later.
Thank you very much. Just gently buff this off.
Oh no. Oh no. That's the daughter.
Which one?
The oldest one.
Right, so just gently buff
God,
that
you
off.
worry when she texts me.
She's at Windsor Castle, ain't she?
Hmm.
So just clean the mortise out. I've only done the mortise about 3 mil deep. I'm going to see if it holds. So that's the bottom finished. As you can see, nice pattern bit of wood that is, very nice. Let's flip that. We'll see if this mortise holds. It grabs it, so stand to one side when I turn the lathe on, just in case. So what we'll do now is we'll get rid of all this. We'll get it flat, and we'll go from there. Just gradually build up the speed. This piece I'm doing here today is more decorative than anything.
Doug Miller from Wood Spun Around, Tom.
Hi, Doug, how you doing?
Norman Greenwell said, I think it's the other way around. Steve, UK flute size.
Oh, is it? Who said that? Door?
Norman Greenwell.
Oh, right, I thought it was the other way. I thought the Americans measured the flute size and we measured the shaft size. Get out, walk.
Barry Chitty said, Steve, did you receive the photo of Chuck Buddies?
Which Chuck Buddies? What picture was that, Barry? How did you send it to me? Messenger or?
Don't know. Brian said, you're correct, Norman. Steve was giving you the information the wrong way round.
Oh, so it is the flute size, is it? The UK? Yes, no?
Yeah, what you said. Norman was right.
Who was right?
Norman, not you.
Right, okay. So I've learned something new then. I thought it was the other way, but
Cool.
so. So you learn something new every day. Every day's a school day. Right, so we're flat now. So I'm just going to do one more pass just to smooth this off. Right, I'm going to leave that nice sharp edge because I want that to. I don't want no colour bleeding over the edge. But what we'll do is I'll just sand it a little tiny bit when we sand up. So sand it from 120 up to 400 this time. The reason being is we're going to colour, so we need to sand it fine.
Michelle said, Nikki, stop shouting at Steve.
Oh, you sir, Michelle. I'm one of those battered husbands, I am.
You wish. Got to pick your daughter up tonight.
Have you?
No, you have. That's your job. You're the driver, not me.
Are you chopping carrots?
No.
What?
No. Cutting up parsnips.
You cutting?
Sugar.
You cutting up parsnips?
Mm-hmm. Oh.
You actually need to start cooking some of this veg you cut up because we're getting a lot of it piled up in the utility room.
You're not funny. I've just gone off the chat now. What am I doing? Ugh. Stuff everywhere now.
Oh, I think I remember what picture Barry's on about now. It just pinged into my head.
Terry said Steve started wearing hearing aids now so he can turn Nikki down.
Yeah. That's a good idea, actually, Terry.
Neil M's on?
Oh, Neil?
Yeah, I've got the carrots to do in a minute, Michelle. Barry said, I emailed the photo too, but not. I got it right. Too old for technology. Don't know what he's on about.
Yeah, I think it was if I remember right, it was a picture of you mounting, having your chuck buddies mounted, wasn't it, mate? If you did, if it is the picture, then yes, I have got it. Thank you for sending them over. I'm trying to get loads of pictures together of people using the chuck buddies to make a
Collaboration?
well, not collaboration, but just more of a some pictures to promote them with, really. Right, so this is 400 grit, last one. Nice and
parsnips for tea.
Nice and smooth. I'll just have a quick drink. So what we're going to do now is we're going to blow the dust out of that. Get it all out of the grain. Like so.
Benjamin said you need to employ someone to manage your emails.
Trouble is you get so many junk emails nowadays, it's unreal.
Pete said he's not having carrots because I'm too unreliable with the information. Or with the instructions, sorry.
Right, so I'm using Chestnut Products Ebonizing Lacquer just to give this a coat of dark so we can see the colours better, really, more than anything.
Rings or sticks, carrots? Do you want?
Sticks. I don't like rings too much. Why has Terry put the StreamYard link in for his live tomorrow? Everybody will be signing up to your live now, Terry. Right, so got the extraction going. Can turn the lathe down low. Let that one dry, and we'll give it a couple. Just got the hot air going on. Just
Dr. Bob's on.
Hi, Dr. Bob. How are you?
He's been lurking in the background.
Oh, you know what I didn't do? Stupid boy. I've got to sand that back now. Ah,
Why?
didn't sand and seal it. I had to go at Brian about that and all the other day.
You're too busy talking.
He's gonna love that one, isn't he? Right, let's just quickly sand it back.
Michelle said Brian's wood supplies have arrived.
Ooh.
So loads of blanks for him to turn.
Nice.
John Scarborough said, can you use black paint as a base colour, Steve?
Yes, you can, John. Just make sure you really want a matte, not a gloss, though. And before you put a paint on, sand and seal it. If not, you're going to have to sand it back like this. Stupid boy. So don't forget, we've got Terry's live tomorrow at dinner time. And then Brian's on tomorrow night. Two good turners. Well, actually, they're not good. They're very good. Very good turners.
Creep.
no,
No, it's okay yet to say that.
they are good turners. Terry's got so much experience. I'm going to go too big with him because he won't be able to get out of the house to get his shopping with his head. But Terry's got loads of knowledge, and Brian, for how short a period of time he's been turned, he's an amazing turner. Right, let's try again.
Dave Oaty said was the whole lot $12.99.
A whole lot of what?
The wood to Michelle.
Yeah. Right, so sand and sealer. Remember, sand and sealer before a paint. No sand and sealer before a stain.
Barry said, you got the white paint ready?
I've got my box. I have my box ready. So don't splash everywhere.
Yeah, because if it gets dirty, that'll get painted straight away.
Of course it will. Affects the colour of the videos if I don't paint it properly. Right, let that dry a little bit. Then we'll give it a coat of Ebenezer lacquer.
Tommy's workshop's on.
Hi Tommy, how you doing?
Todd said, is loads of experience a euphemism for being old?
Well, they are. He is old. Can't deny that one, can we? Yeah, Terry's got a badge. A 70-year-old badge. Right, so let's try again. Turn the lathe right down. Oh, it's going on better this time. I knew I hadn't sanded it, so I sprayed it because it disappeared into the grain. Just try off a hot air gun. Don't get too close with your hot air gun because the Ebenezer lacquer will blister a little bit if you're not careful.
Wood Tenor Barry's got to go because his dinner's ready.
See you later, mate. Thanks for coming over.
Mike Waltz on.
Hi, Mike. How you doing?
He's put afternoon all. How I love colouring.
You showed me your colouring yesterday, Mike. I thought it was marvellous.
Well, he said he's done it 3 times. Forgot the sand and sealer.
Yeah, I've done it many times, mate. You get to learn eventually. So Battle of the Makers next Friday. For anybody who comes over and joins us. Another entertaining evening. And then myself, Brian, and Lewis from Quandrite Craftsman is doing a early morning live on Saturday morning at 2 a.m.
Jappy's got to go.
See you later, Jappy. Thanks for coming over, mate. Have a good day. Hopefully we'll get some of the Americans. Well, we're doing it for the Americans and overseas, really, because their timeline should be between, I think, 6 in the evening and 10 at night, depending on what state they're in. So we thought we'd do it for the Americans. All right, so that's
Alex
Urban.
of Wild Wooden Things is on.
Hi, Alex.
Nick Castle's on as well.
Hi, Nick. I'm just going to give that one more coat. Just dry off quickly.
That witch was haunting him, weren't it? Ben
Who?
said, "Can I just say I'm glad to see Steve, you got rid of that awful witch. You got the gonk there now instead. It's a lot more pleasing on the eye." I want him in the house. I'm not allowed him. Can't believe he wants to cast him. You can't cast him, he's too cute.
I'm going to cast him in resin. I just got to work out how to cast him without the fur going funny. I think hairspray. Right, so that's dry now. That's dry. So that's our ebonizer lacquer. Can't really see that now, can you? It looked really dark. Oh no, look, I've got spray paint all over my sticker. Just turn extraction off. So that's our base for our splashy colours, or centrifugal colours. So I have here me box.
Colin said that's a nice looking chunk of wood by the paint cans that you can see in the background.
Oh, thank you, Colin. That's a project I'm working on. But I don't think I can go any further with it, to be honest, because the bit of wood is absolutely useless. It's a bit real pucky and it was worm infested. I turned it yesterday. It is a nice bit of wood. I totally agree with you. Can't really see it, can you? It's a bit blurry. It is a real nice bit of wood, but I don't think I can go any further with it. So I was going to do. That's a video coming up in a couple of weeks. You'll see how bad it was when I first started. So we've got my splash shield around just in case. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get the these graduate paints out, put them in some tubs, and then we're going to do the centrifugal bit.
What are you going to do with that?
Centrifugal? Is it fugal? And then hopefully we'll get some nice patterns come out. So let me get some small tubs out. And again, as always, you can water these down a little bit to make them splatter a bit better. But I don't want a mess everywhere. I just want some nice streaky lines. So I've got the colours I've got is titanium white, gold lint, whatever that is, metallic pink, metallic brown, silver, metallic green. So I was thinking the yellow, or the gold, should I say, the pink, the green, and maybe the metallic brown. Not 100% sure with that one.
Roy, I've got the big gonk, but I want the little one to go with that. I've got a really big gonk. It's sat in my fireplace.
So I think we'll go with the
I might just have to pinch it.
Green first.
See if he notices.
Use this brush, I reckon.
Hmm?
Green first, I reckon.
No
So when
listening.
yeah, I was listening. So when you're doing centrifugal, you want to be putting plenty of paint around it because you want the paint to splatter everywhere.
Mick Dews is on.
Hi, Mick. And don't worry about too much about that bit because we're going to cut that bit out. Because the idea is that the paint.
Colin said hollow out and resin. Too nice to throw away.
What's that?
Don't know.
So you want the idea
he
is
said he saw those in the
range
thing the other day. In the range. Yeah. Mick said, "Is this the point we duck and run?"
Right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the lathe on, and hopefully that's going to splatter. I might not put enough on there, but we'll see. Oh, yeah, we've got a few lines. So something like that. And as you can see, you've got the different bursts of it. You can put a bit more on to give you more running lines. Like I say, you can thin it down a little bit. Stuart Farini, what he does is he sometimes sprays water on it to just splay out a little bit too much. But I I don't want it splaying out loads. I just want it because I want to use more than one colour. So
Yeah, I like that.
I'm just gonna put a little bit more on there, and we'll just do that again. Nick, can you get me some
Some water,
water?
please.
I should have got it earlier, really, shouldn't I?
Just 1 second, because I've got my hands full.
Oh, it's too late now. My brush is dried out.
I didn't dry out that quick.
No, I'm joking. Right, so that's the green. Just worry about the excess on the piece of
What
tissue.
pot?
That one on there, babe.
Hmm?
That one on there.
Where?
On there, next to that bowl blank. Thank you. So what we'll do now is we go for, I want to leave the lightest to last. So let's go
Oh,
for
I've got my headset on.
the metallic pink now. So we go for the metallic pink. Just wash my brush out a little bit. Oh, don't really matter, does it? Because the colour's going over the colour anyway. So the metallic pink's next. Thank you.
We want to know what speed you're at to splatter.
Around about 1600 RPM, mate.
Right. Benjamin, since turning wet wood, I have noticed that my live centres and dead centres seem to get well stuck. It takes more than several hits with the knockout bar to release them. I've tried cleaning the M2 hole with a tube cleaning brush, but it's the same.
Just get a bit of real fine sandpaper on it, mate. Right, so that's the pink. So we're going to do exactly the same. Run it up. Just leave it a few seconds to. Who were?
Mike said, being a world-renowned colorist, I used to thin the acrylic slightly with water.
Yeah.
Then the RPM dictates the splatter radius.
Yeah, you can fill them down, water them down a little bit. Right, yellow next. No, brown. Do I do brown? Do you think 3 colours is enough?
You don't want brown.
What's gold? That's metallic brown. I got yellow and white. White. 3 colours enough? I think 3 colours are enough, don't you?
What colour are you going to put on there now?
Yellow. Or metallic. Well, it says gold, but. Or would you use white?
Don't know.
What?
Don't know.
We'll
Yeah,
use.
white might look better.
We can always put a bit of yellow in afterwards.
Chris Dodd said this is a cooking show with wood turning as an extra. I'm all done. I need to get in now and get on with my jobs.
So a bit of white.
Need to get some lube, Ben.
Who said that?
It just says Terry said, Ben, you may be over tightening to compensate for the wetness. Spray some lube on them first. Yeah, everyone said white. All right, a couple of gold. I agree, Joe. No to brown.
I think it's more of a bronze, not a brown. Oops. Right, here we go.
You must hate it when I've been in here. All these bits of vegetable left on there.
Might have gone too much now. Who were misses? Hmm. It's more this side. Why is there more this side than there is that side? That's strange, isn't it? And paints are quite thick. They take a lot to come out your brush. The other way you could do this is by just putting some splods, just like a blop, 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 blop on it from the tube. So is that enough colours, do you think? Or should we do another colour? I think that's enough colours, 3. I think I might just put a little bit more green on that. Are you still awake, Nick? Or?
Mm-hmm. Mike said bit of black now.
Black? It's black underneath, mate. See what I look like. Turn it down. I'm going to leave that. I ain't going to do no more to that. Going to leave that like that. Go too much. That'll be too much. I know we're going to turn quite a bit out of the middle of that once that's dry, but that will do. Wash this brush out quickly. Alright, so get rid of those, get rid of those, get rid of those. They can be washed out. Yuck.
And Gav said it's not even, his OCD is killing him.
Right, so we'll take that out.
Ruby said no brown.
Yeah. Well, it's not brown, it's more like I think it's more like a bronze colour, but you guys are most probably right, because as always, you always are, right? Right, so that's the colours. We're going to turn that out to about there, I would imagine. So we should just get that, but we need to just gently dry that off. I don't know how long that'll take to dry, but we'll give it 5 minutes, and if it's not dry, then I'll finish it off after the live. So as always, make sure your hot air gun's turned off away from your piece so you don't blow dust and crud all over your piece. Don't want to overheat this because the ebonizer lacquer underneath will actually bubble. So we just gently need to warm it up. I've done a couple of these bowls and I do like them because it's just something totally different. Something that the colouring's out of your control, which is quite nice.
Ooh.
You're right, old woman. So I've never used these paints before, so I don't know how long they take to dry.
Roy's the boy said, "Can you order use any type of acrylic paints?" He's been given some Tesco's ones.
Yeah, I can't see why not. I use different styles. I mean, I've got some acrylic paints in the small little, the art pots you get. I've used those before.
Glitter would look nice on there now.
Yeah, you can buy. I've got some of the iridescent. I mean, you could use Joe Sonia if that's what you got.
Colin said, "Could you do the same technique with Joe Sonia iridescent paints?"
Yeah, most probably. I think you might have to water those down because they are quite thick. But give it a try. The only trouble with Joe Sonia is if they get the thick bits, they stay white. You don't really see the colour. So you'd definitely have to thin those down. Still quite wet that. That's going to take quite a while to dry because it's quite thick in places.
Perhaps they could have been thinned out a bit then.
Well, no, because I wanted the sharp colours. Because as you look, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but when you stand here, they look like, well, you obviously, because they're different colours on top of each other, you can see like the layer builds up.
All right.
Looks quite cool.
Barry's Wood Creation said, "Steve, done a couple of these this week. Video out soon. Really like the effect. I used spray paints."
Yeah, I've seen Barry did one the other day. It looked really nice. Royal blue one. That would look really nice. What you can do as well to give you different effects is put a couple of colours on top of each other in one go. Because if you've got the different colours, they'll bleed through. So I'll give you like that different colour stropey effect. I don't want to overheat that because that's going to blister that ebonising lacquer. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that and then we'll come back and finish it off after the live. Give that a chance to dry properly because it's still quite soft in the middle there. I mean, it's starting to go and I don't want to push it.
Terry said, "If you turn out the middle, then you won't be able to practice again with it. I would leave it and turn it off for the next one."
Yeah, good idea, Terry. Good idea.
Turn
But
it
anyway,
off for the next one, yeah.
that's the idea of it. I'm going to leave that to dry now. And then we'll see what it looks like. I'll put some pictures up afterwards once it's dry. And then we'll see what happens with it. Like I say, it's all about having a go and having a play. For the price of acrylics, I think they do smaller ones than these, but I think these are like £2.50 each, so they're not expensive to have a play with. It's worth having a go, isn't it? So I'll hold it on the right camera, helps. I think that was about £2.50 each, so not expensive. Have a play and see what you come up with. It's about trying something different, isn't it? So we'll see what happens. Like I say, I don't want to push it and end up making a mess of it, but it is drying just really slowly because it's quite thick on there. So I
I mean,
think
they
we're
did
gonna.
a pack, didn't they, of paints as well,
Yeah,
like
but then
little ones, but they was just like reds and yellows. They
yeah,
weren't
the
like
flat colours.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can buy just the flat colours, but I wanted the metallic-y colours. The reason being is hopefully when you hold it in the light. Well, let's take it and have a look. When you hold it in the light, hopefully you're going to get that shimmer, a bit like the iridescent colours. Let's put it on a camera up ahead. So hopefully, yeah, you just
Yeah,
get.
they were about £2.95, Roy.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see the colours shimmering, can you, with like a shimmery effect, which is what the iridescents or metallics do. With a flat colour, it's obviously just going to be a basic flat colour, so it's always nice to have that shimmery look. Now, what I would do with that, once it's dry and I'd either do one or two things, leave it as it is, or I'd lacquer that with a matte lacquer, so you don't take away the difference between the shimmer of the colour and the matte look of the black. Because if you lacquer it with gloss, you're going to take away that difference of colours. If you satin it, the glimmer of the colour will still push its way through the satin lacquer, so you still get a bit of that glimmer. So anyway, that's the idea. Oh, that's not a very good picture, is it? Look at that. That's a bit blurry. Let's just refocus that. It's because I put it on the bedways. So let's just focus that in so you get a better picture. There you go. That's better. Yeah, the range they came from. They do absolutely loads of different paints and colours in the range. I love it. I stand in there for ages, just walking up and down and seeing what they've got. It's always nice to try and think of new projects to use with it. But yeah, that's the idea. Centrifugal bowl. Like I say, if you want to watch someone who knows what they're doing, go and watch Stuart Farini. Stuart Farini has done quite a few of those, and he gets to a stage where there's just masses of amount, and the patterns and the textures he gets out of it is absolutely amazing. That's where I saw it the first time. But like I say, that's nothing like Stuart's. That's just a box standard one. Stuart's is a lot better than that. So I think we're there. So if there's any more questions, chuck them in the chat quickly before we go. Remember tomorrow, TJ turn on at lunchtime, 1 o'clock, and then we have Brian at Hartwood on at 8 o'clock tomorrow night.
I don't think they put their links in. Terry did earlier, but I don't think Brian has.
Is Brian's
I
link
don't know
up?
if he's busy.
I think he's unloading his wood.
You keep looking and I'll just look for it one of these.
Are you looking for his link?
Yes.
Oh, right, okay.
You just watch the chat.
I'll watch the chat. Yeah, so thank you very much for coming over and joining us. This Terry's. So that's Terry's link for tomorrow. He was on about doing a telephone, one of those old-fashioned telephones. Whether he is or not, I don't know. So if he is, go over and watch because that will be really interesting. Susie, how are you? Thanks for coming over.
All right, here's a link for Brian's.
I'll just show you what we did, Susie, before we go. Things we're now going. This is what we've done today, Susie. It's not quite finished, so we're going to leave it, and then I'll perhaps use this as another test piece. Finish the back natural. Only used a 3mm mortise in the bottom there, which worked quite well, so don't need to go really deep. Ebonize and lacquer on the top. Oh, sanded to 400 grit, sorry. Sand and sealed. Don't forget your sand and sealer. Then ebonize and lacquer over the top, which cured that off, and then we've done 4 different colours of these graduate metallic colours. I've done green, white, and the pink, as you can see. So we're leaving them to dry, let them dry. And like I just said to the others, you can either lacquer that or just leave it natural. So that's what I would do anyway. Thank you, Susie. So I think we'll go.
Thank you for your lovely comments.
So I will come back on the camera, the crime scene camera. Wanted.
Right, I'm going to go. Right, take care, everyone, and stay safe. Bye.
What's the fix? Bye. See you next week. Right, so the thickness of that finished piece is round about 22mm, Roy. It's about 22mm thick. So obviously it's more of a decorative piece. And you only hollow out, you only need to hollow out perhaps 5-10mm. Because like I say, it's just for, all it is to give the contrast between the colours and the actual colour of the wood. That's what you're trying to do. It's not going to be a bowl that you're going to use. It's just going to be a feature piece stuck on a shelf or a wall or whatever. So you only need to dish out about 5, maybe 10mm maximum. But I wouldn't come out no further. I don't want to drop this. No further than maybe 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch from that edge. I wouldn't come out no further than that, because if you do, you're going to take away the mass amount of colour, and I'd like to see some of that chunky stuff around the outside. So I reckon 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch maximum. So that still leaves some of this splattered bits around the outside. Because I don't know if you can see on that camera, you can see like the layering, which has come out quite nice. The layering. I mean, you can do it all in one go, so you can put blobs of one colour, blobs of another colour, and blobs of your third colour, and then do it all in one hit. but I like the layer effect. You don't always have to have your piece perfectly smooth. It's actually quite nice sometimes to have a bit of texture on a piece, and it just gives you that different depth, so it's quite nice. So anyway, right, so Radar's doing a giveaway, 300 sub giveaway. I will see if I can find his channel and chuck his channel in the chat. Most of you guys are already, I can't do it on this one. See if I can do it on my phone. Most of you guys are obviously already subscribed to Radar. But if you're not, go over and sub to him. I can find his channel. Don't you just love spell checkers? Not even I'm subscribed to your Radar. I do apologise, mate. So, let's just chuck his link in the channel. I'll just quickly find his link on here because I can copy and paste it over. All right, so this is the link for Radar's channel. And they're going to stick it in the chat. So go over and check Radar's giveaway out. And if you're not subscribed, then subscribe to his channel. Pete's already put it in. Pete beat me to it. Damn, Pete. So anyway, yeah, go check out his giveaway. I'll go and check it as well. So see you guys over there. And other than that, I'll see you later on. So thanks for coming over and joining us once again. Massive thank you for all you guys who came over Friday night. That was an absolutely awesome night. And don't forget Battle of the Makers on Friday. Yes, we have Joe and Brian as the Gold Hunters. Wayne and Huey as the Wood Warriors. Myself and a new adjudicator. So come over and see who the new adjudicator is. So anyway, I'll see you sometime in a week. Have a great week, guys. Thank you for your support. Take care. Speak to you soon. And bye for now. Thank you very much.
That's all, folks.